Well, good evening, everybody. My name's Ed, and tonight I'm going to speak about click. I can't click, so I'm going to speak about what I am as a coach. I'm considered a recovery coach, and I am honored to be what's called a recovery coach. It's the new magic words that we hear today in all the industries that have to do with recovery. But what we do is we meet people where they're at. And I'm not just talking about people that are suffering with substance use issues, but also the families, because this is a family disease. And if we don't talk to everybody about it and get everybody in the family headed towards recovery, it breaks that chain. We help one person and the other side of the family is still sick and still suffering. So, I am honored. Gloucester County prosecutor, Mr. Dalton, started this program 14 months ago and in the county. And basically what we do is we go into Jefferson in Washington Township and in Spira in Woodbury. And every time somebody comes in and they're struggling and they want help, and it's not just opiates, they're struggling with alcohol, any type of substance. They come in, they say they're struggling, the hospital calls us and we come out and meet them where they're at. And it's just amazing what we see and what we hear. I think about just about a week ago, and I know several of the recovery coaches are here. We're in the hospital and we walk up and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and the person looks at us and they're like, and they see our badge and they say, "You're a volunteer? You get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and come to talk to me? I'm a drug addict. Nobody loves me." And they start to cry. And it takes everything to keep my composure because I feel like crying just saying that. But, people are hurting. And we need to meet people where they're at. I mean, that's what this program's about. We not only do it in the hospitals, we also do it with the police departments. Several police departments, I had 3 calls this week. Police department will call me and say, "Hey, we have a young man here. Can you come to the police department or talk to him?" Or they give us one of our cards, and we'll end up getting a phone call to go meet a family, where the police have been out to the family, and it's just great. I mean, one of the amazing things is that if we didn't have this program, most of everybody, the way it used to work, let me put it this way, the way it used to work, you went to the hospital, you were seen, the hospital's not a rehab, so all they can do is give them a pamphlet, it's got phone numbers on it, and say, "Tomorrow, when you get up, call these phone numbers." Well, anybody that knows how this industry is, there are waiting lists everywhere. We're talking about 3 to 4 weeks to get a bed, unless you know the system and you can make phone calls and you can have somebody sitting, that's what we do. We meet somebody at the hospital and the next morning we're talking to them on the phone, if we didn't already get them into treatment that night, and then we follow them. We follow them through the process. What's amazing is I was talking to somebody today that I've been following for over a year. And he kept on saying he was going to go, and I met him in one of the hospitals, and he was going to go, and there was every excuse as we all heard. And what's amazing is this young man now has 60 days clean now. It took him a year, but the thing about it is that if there wasn't somebody there prodding him, and other than his family. Said, "Hey, you can do this. Let's try something different." There's a good chance that he would still be on the streets. And we do all types of things. I have people that live in burned out, abandoned buildings in Camden, and every 3 or 4 days I go to Camden and I meet them, and I take them out to breakfast or lunch, and I'm there just in case they're ready to get help. Most of them, and we have husbands and wives that are living under bridges, that we're trying to help. And we just try to be a beacon of light for everybody. And our job is to remove barriers. That's pretty much what we do. If someone wants to get help, because not everybody is ready at that moment, but we're there. We'll call you in a month and say, hey, Johnny, how you doing today? How's everything going? You ready to go? Let's go get a bite to eat, a cup of coffee, and talk. And, the sad thing about it is that when somebody is suffering with substance use, when they're in the pit, they have that feeling that nobody loves me. Even though their families do love them, they have that feeling down inside that says nobody really gives a crap about me. And have somebody to step up and say, I don't care if you're using, I don't care what's going on. I'm here to love you and to see you through this. And and it's so nice to give back and see that happening. But I'll tell you the best part about it is, we were talking about stigma. There's always been a lot of stigma, and I don't mean to sound mean or anything, Dr. Beer, but there's always been a lot of stigma in the hospitals. And there's a reason why. I mean, it's a revolving door of people overdosing and are coming in wanting help. There's not help, so they get put back out the door. But once you do this so many times, people who are working in the field in the ED. Once that happens so many times, you get enough's enough. And so, what the amazing thing is that we've been able to change the staff at the hospital. Because in the beginning of this, they were like, oh, what are those people going to do that we can't do, And the amazing thing now is when several of the coaches in here, which I'm going to make stand here in a minute, when they walk into the room, and when they walk into the emergency room, they're like, here comes our savior, And I mean, literally, that's how they feel about, these guys coming into the emergency room. It is so important that, we help. And, that's what we do. And I want to just take one moment. Can all the recovery coaches in the room stand up for me, please? These guys are actually amazing. They do all this on their own time, and they do it free of charge, And that's it for me.